It's 2:30 p.m. on the 26th of March, 2012. I'm Mark Strassman, reporter with Utopia News. I'm about to talk to David Cruz Thayne, who's the candidate for Congress in the 26th Congressional District of California. Welcome to Utopia News.
It's great to be here. Thank you, Mark.
Tell us very briefly what areas are included in the 26th Congressional District.
You bet. It consists of 98% of it's in Ventura County and 2% of it in LA County. So it's all Westlake Village, Thousand Oaks, Newbury Park, Camarillo, all of Oxnard, Point Hueneme, all of Ventura, all of Ojai, Santa Paula, Fillmore, Moore Park, and Oak Park.
Okay, and is there an incumbent in this election cycle?
Originally, there was an incumbent, not now. He decided after 26 long years that it was time to step aside, and I think he came to his senses and realized that we need to have new blood and new people in our system.
Okay, why do you want to be that new blood?
Well, I believe I bring a unique perspective, a good perspective to this race, and that is that I understand what working class and middle class families are going through in this country because I am one. I'm not a career politician. I've never held elective office. I've been working and living in this real economy. I've been self-employed and owned my own small business my entire adult life. I have 4 kids that are in the public school systems. I have a real stake in making sure that our country is successful. And I believe that I truly understand what people are going through, and I can be able to help.
Okay, how much money have you raised so far?
So far we're around over $100,000.
And how much do you expect you'll need to raise to win?
You know, for this primary, we're looking around $200,000.
Okay, are you going to have a super PAC?
You know, not that I'm aware of. I don't know if these super PACs have really trickled down to congressional races yet. We'll see.
Okay. What kind of campaign events have you been participating in so far?
A lot of kind of meet and greets. A lot of we have had quite a few fundraisers going and speaking. Really, at the end of the day, Mark, when you're campaigning, if you got 2 guys in a telephone pole standing there, you go talk to them. And that's real grassroots effort, door to door, lots of phone banking. Going around to small businesses because, again, I can identify with what the struggles that they're going through, and I've been spending a lot of time touring our district and going to small businesses and larger businesses to hear for me to get a true feel of what's going on.
And what kind of mood do you feel the voters are in? What have they been saying to you?
People are as angry as I've ever seen them. We are going into probably one of the most anti-incumbent, anti-establishment years maybe in our country's history. People are furious on both sides and are not happy with the way government is, I say, the lack of it working. It's a major problem and people are upset.
What are their specific issue concerns?
One big issue is when they look at Congress, they see a Congress that's not working together. There's no collaboration. There's no compromise. People are so divided by their party. They're no longer caring about what's in the best interest of the American people. They're more concerned about their own self-interest. They're concerned that a biggest concern is that we're just not talking to each other. Our country's is so divided.
Do you have a strategy that would enable Democrats and Republicans in Congress to talk to each other better?
Sure. I have also a little bit of a history in that. I worked for a period of time as the chief of staff to the minority leader in the state Senate in Salt Lake City, Utah, where I'm originally from. And there, if you wanted to get something done, you had to collaborate. You had to compromise. You had to work with the other side. There's so many things. We have more in common than we have not in common. I mean, we keep focusing on the things that we don't have in common, and we got to focus more on what we have in common, where we can work together, where we can get this country moving and get things going again.
Okay, tell us how the primary and general elections in this race are related to each other.
Well, we have a new system here in California, the open primary, which I voted and supported because it creates a situation where someone, regardless of political party, they can go and pick who they think is the best person for the job, and that's something that hasn't been happening. We've been so locked into political party stuff, and now anybody can go and vote for Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, whoever they think can do the job the best. They can vote for that person.
Okay, with multiple Democrats in this race, what's your strategy to be one of the top 2 finishers?
Well, we have to just get our message out. We have to do what we've been doing. We've been running a real grassroots campaign, taking it straight to the people, door to door, phone banking, meet and greets, all those things I mentioned earlier. But typical grassroots effort. Social media is important, and just getting the word out.
Oh, all right. Have there been efforts by anyone to get you out of the race?
Unfortunately, yes. I don't know if we. I think the fact that we're a young candidate that has a lot of energy, that has a young family, that I speak fluent Spanish, that I can also relate to and get along with Republicans. I seem to be a real threat, and the fact I've also put together one of the best campaign teams in the country. People are a little threatened by that, and there was a big push by one of our opponents to try to get us out of the race.
You're not quitting, though, of course, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. No, I'm a natural-born athlete. It's deep in my DNA. It just does the opposite. It just fires me up even more.
Are there going to be candidate debates or forums that you're going to participate in?
There has been so far. I've done more candidate debates and forums than any other candidate in this race. Unfortunately, every time I go and do a candidate forum or debate, everyone else has pulled out and are no longer in the race. So we're taking a little bit of a break with that right now, and but there's some coming up on the calendar in the next month or so.
When is the primary election? What's the date?
June 5th, Tuesday, June 5th.
Okay. Who's endorsed you so far?
Oh, we've gotten lots of endorsements. We've gotten a lot of endorsements from the Latino caucus, the state assembly members. And the Latino caucus, and about 8 of them have endorsed us. The postal workers, the president of the postal workers has endorsed us. We've also gotten support from the Teamsters. Our local Teamsters 157 has endorsed us. And we have a whole bunch of others that we're going to be releasing here in the next week or so. So we're getting plenty of support.
I read that Gary South is working with your campaign. Is he still working with your campaign?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Who is he and what's his role?
Well, Gary South is our chief strategist. Gary was someone who most people believe was responsible in getting Gray Davis elected in a very difficult primary when nobody knew who Gray Davis was and was way behind in the number 3 spot. Gary was able to help get him elected twice. He's kind of known as one of the top guys in Democratic politics. He's one of the top consultants, and we're very lucky to have him. This is the kind of guy that can work on any campaign he wants. He usually just does presidential or statewide races, and the fact that he picked us to do a congressional race was a big deal. We also have Joe Trippi on our campaign staff, and another guy who usually just does presidential races and is really well known around the country and well respected. And we also have John Fairbanks, who's the top Democratic pollster in the nation. He looked at everybody in this race, all those who were rumored to be in the race, and he picked our campaign. So we have a great campaign team. Those guys are amazing. They're great. They bring so much to the table. But we also have a real, along with all that age and experience, we have some young folks on our campaign who are super energetic, who recently just graduated from college, and they're gung-ho and have all this energy. And so we got a great combination of experience and youth kind of coming together on this campaign. I'm really excited about it.
Talking about strategic vision, share with us as much as you care to about what the overall approach is that you're taking in order to get the votes that you need. What's your general orientation to the election? What are your strategic themes, and what are you trying to do?
Well, Mark, what you need to know, and the public needs to know about this particular campaign and this particular race, in our district, it's 25% Hispanic, 43% overall, but 25% who are registered to vote. So we have, a quarter of the voters are Hispanic. I speak fluent Spanish. My parents immigrated this country from South America to work in the factories, and so we can identify with a lot of the Hispanic folks, and we're spending a lot of time there. Like I said, we've been endorsed by about 8 members from the Latino Legislative Caucus, state assembly members, and so that's a big part of our strategy. But I also believe I have a lot of crossover effect. I'm not just a Latino candidate. I also can go into heavily Republican areas and understand what they're going through and have conversations with them and come away with a lot of their support as well. So we're working. We're talking to everybody in our district.
Okay, I read that you were hiring more staff. Is that true?
Yeah, we're bringing in some more staff members. You bet. Again, that's a little bit more on the a lot of the college kids and a lot of the youth. We're trying to really get the youth support and youth vote, and we want to bring in some young kids to help with that.
¿Cómo va a comunicar con ellos que quieren leer sus materiales en español?
Ellos pueden ir a nuestro website www.dct2012.com. That's dct2012.com.
Okay, what are you enjoying the most and the least about the campaign so far?
Well, let's start with the most. I just absolutely love. I'm such a people person. I love talking with people. I love hearing from small business owners and hearing what's going on, what's working, what's not working, and really, I just love taking it to the streets and taking it to the masses, and hearing from them what their concerns are, and hopefully being able to communicate to them that I'm in this to help them and to help our district and help our country. So that's one of the funnest things about this. Probably the thing I dislike the most, the fundraising. To spend so much time of every day on the phone, calling people, asking for money. Another indication that our system is broken. We need serious campaign finance reform. This eliminates such good people from getting involved in the process, because I'm not going to say it's disgusting, but it is difficult, and there's something just not quite right when you have to just keep calling people and asking them for money over and over again. Our system needs to change. We need to, that needs to be addressed right away.
Okay, wrap up by telling us why people should vote for you.
Well, again, I understand what working class and middle class families are going through. I am one. When this economy took a dip, I took a dip. When the housing crunch came, I got crunched. I don't just read about this stuff. I've been living and breathing with this. I'm the only one in this race that has to get up every morning and try to figure out how to support his wife and 4 kids. So I live in this real world, in the real economy, and that separates me from everybody else. Everyone else is basically a career politician in this race, and are not going through the things that people have gone through, and I have.
Tell us where people can get more information about your campaign.
Well, the best place is the website, www.dct2012.com.
Okay, good. I want to thank you, and I hope we can talk again as the campaign continues.
100%. Thank you, Mark.
Bye.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.